Hello guys and gals of the internet, I am the Civic Chaos of YouTube, Mixer and Twitch TV. It is game 2 of the playthrough replay docket, and next up is Resident Evil 4 on the PC, originally released for the GameCube. Again, very much like Resident Evil 1, I pretty much had no idea this game had even existed until I was around at my grandparents' house, and I told you this in the Resident Evil 3 story. I was around my grandparents' house, and my uncle owned it for the Wii, but I think it was released as a GameCube exclusive at first, and then they decided to multi-platform it a few years later. I think the GameCube version is considered the best version of all the versions that have been released. We are playing the PC version. I believe this is the version ported from the Xbox 360 when the HD version was released in 2012. I think. I'm not really sure. I mean, we're on PC, so it's probably not going to matter anyway. But yeah. So, the reason this is the second game on the replay docket is relatively simple. If you look on my YouTube channel right now, you'll see that Resident Evil 4 is missing. And of course, as with Resident Evil 1, I announced a few replay playthroughs that I'll be doing, and Resident Evil 4 is next. And it's for reasons that are very similar to Resident Evil 1, to kind of bring the playthrough length down a bit, because I believe this playthrough that I did most recently was about, I think it was like 80-something parts, wasn't it? And I remember a few instances in that playthrough where I would die continuously on boss fights. I think there was one video where I spent 10 minutes trying to find the way to the next part of the game. I got stumped for about 10 minutes just wandering around in a goddamn circle. I never edited that out. So yes, for playthrough reasons, it's very similar to Resident Evil 1. We're going to bring the playthrough down a bit. We're going to cut out dead parts. We could make a death montage, but die a million times as boss fights. But unlike Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 4 is actually a playthrough I've done multiple times. I did this back when it came out on the Xbox 360 back in 2012. I also, when I converted to Direct Capture a few years later, I did a Direct Capture run of the game. And then my most recent playthrough was actually on the PlayStation 4 version of the game, which I mentioned most recently. So yeah, we're going to do hopefully a definitive version of this playthrough. And if you've watched Resident Evil 1 recently, which just finished, I think today, you'll notice that the playthrough has been brought down due to longer video length and cutting out like dead parts where I'm retrying or having to reach a certain spot where I died at, say I didn't save. You'll notice a difference. I think Resident Evil 1, my original run that I deleted, was 42 parts. The new playthrough I did was 17. So you can kind of see the reason for playthrough purposes why we're kind of doing these reruns. Resident Evil 4 is almost also the last game in the new Resident Evil series I have to put back up, so that's why this is going up now. And again, like Resident Evil 1, we didn't cover all the bases in that playthrough. We only covered the main story. But there is also, when you complete the game, there is also a Separate Ways, which is a part where you play with Ada. You play as Simon Ada, I believe. I'm not sure what it is after that, but I do remember there being a Mercenaries mode as well. So again, much like I'm trying to do with Resident Evil 1 and say Resident Evil 7, we're actually going to cover all the bases in this game. So let's get down to it, because I don't want to waffle on for too long. So yeah, game 2 I think it's about 4 or 5 that I'm planning to replay. I guess we don't know how to play. I remember more of this than I do Resident Evil 1. Let's put it that way. So let's hope this is all good. Right, so controls, let's see. Aim and control and camera. Control settings, the above settings are the default control scheme. Okay, so what I'm immediately seeing here is that these are the move keys. Now, I'm going to do what I did with Resident Evil 1. I'm going to start the game. I'm going to see how the game feels. And if I feel like I'm going to struggle in terms of more combat with movement with the keyboard and mouse control scheme, I will plug my controller in and we will do it for the rest of the playthrough. Like I said, I hate to do that because I'm really enjoying using keyboard and mouse, but with something like Resident Evil 1, there was tank controls, so that would have been very difficult for encounters. I do think Resident Evil 4 is the same. Like, it's down now to third person, but it still uses the tank control scheme. So I have a feeling I'm going to be doing that, which will be a shame. But we don't. If I don't do it, then I'm gonna end up just dying 1,000 times to even regular enemies, let alone boss fights. So we may just have to bear with on that one. Okay, so inverted main will have off. It says Xbox 360 controller. I'll obviously plug in the PlayStation 4 controller. That works. I'm assuming it works for this game. If not, then I do have an Xbox 360 controller anyway. So, well, an Xbox One controller that I can plug in and use anyway. So it's no big deal. Okay, so let's see. Run is left shift. Quick turn is Q. I guess the quick turn could be something I use. Like I said, we'll try and get a feel for it when the game starts. Reload is R. My mouse button. Spacebar is ready knife. Yeah, I think we'll be alright with that. We'll see. Because I think Resident Evil 4 is the first game where you have a knife on you at all times. And unlike most Resident Evil games, the knife is pretty useful in this game. So it's kind of standard controls, which is all good. Now we don't want to do that. So yeah, we'll leave that as is. No, I want to get out. Thank you. There we go. I'm pressing the wrong button. Classic or modern aiming mode. What does that mean? We'll leave it on the classic for now, and I'll see if I can figure out the differences. Okay, so brightness adjustment. I think we'll put the brightness up a tad, because normally when I've recorded the games I don't think this game is really dark, but it could be. So let's just put it up a tad. Okay, so 1080p, full screen, fixed 60 frames per second. Set the anti-aliasing quality as ×8. I guess I can do that on my most recent graphics card, so we'll probably just leave that as it is. Whoops. Oh god, it's switching to my monitor just briefly there. That's weird. We'll see if we can bear with. High, HD, color filter off. Motion blur we'll have off. Yeah, we'll have motion blur off. We'll get rid of that. I normally turn motion blur off. I find it disorienting sometimes. I'm not motion sick, but I think it would just be better if we had it off. I have it off on Call of Duty and a couple other games as well. So it might be, this game might be blurry anyway. I'm not sure. Set the motion blur on off. We'll turn it off. I have it off on most other games. Not because I'm motion sick. I just find it better if the motion blurs off, and then I can see better. Yeah, we're good. Apparently, there are subtitles here, but it's blanked. You can't select it. So unfortunately, we're going to have subtitles off, which means I'll have to be relatively quiet during the cutscenes, which we can do. That's cool. Okay, so that's it. So now we can get started. Before we do, you'll notice that this screen has very limited options right now. You mentioned the other game modes that I mentioned. They don't come a lot till the end of the game, when you complete the game. So we'll have to do that after. Resident Evil 4 is considered the best in this series to many people. I don't really know why. Because Resident Evil 4 was probably the biggest change in the series to that date. Because now we're going into third person. The game isn't that scary. It hasn't really got that scare factor about it. It's more like an atmospheric game, much like Resident Evil 7. So I guess, you know, the vibe of Resident Evil 7 is rather positive. So maybe that's it. Maybe because again, it captures the atmosphere really well. And I said in Resident Evil 7 it captures that really well. So I think this is a more atmospheric game, but it's now switching to third-person camera view. It's having a more emphasis on gunfights and action. And people give Resident Evil 5 and 6 a lot of shit for that, but for some reason Resident Evil 4 gets a free pass. But I guess because, again, the atmosphere is eerie and the controls are still the tank controls. So even though it's featured to third person, it still plays like a Resident Evil game. So I guess I could actually see that. But you know, like I said, I respect all opinions. You know, that's their right to do that. I just think Resident Evil 2 is my favorite game. I've stated that enough. So I just don't.
4.
Sometimes I just don't understand why this game gets a such free pass compared to
1998.
5 and 6. But anyway,
I'll never forget it.
no, you won't.
It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in
Grizzly
the Darkling Mountains.
murders.
Soon
Okay,
after,
I'll stop
the
now.
news was out to the
Reaching
whole
back
world,
again.
revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the international pharmaceutical enterprise, Umbrella.
Umbrella. Okay, I'll stop now.
The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City.
But yeah,
and hit the
I don't
peaceful
understand the
little town
free pass
with a
this
devastating
game
blow
gets.
crippling its very
And
foundation.
people shit on Resident Evil 5 and 6. I've just never really understood that. But I
taking any
think
chances,
maybe because Resident Evil
President
5
of the
and
United
6 in
States
particular
ordered a
overdid it
contingency
on the
plan
action side of it.
Sterilize
Whereas
Raccoon
this was
City.
more atmospheric, and yes, it was third person, but
The
it
whole
still
affair
felt
gone
like a
public.
Resident Evil game. So I kind of
The United
understand
States
that.
government issued an indefinite
And this
suspension
actually
of
has
business decree to
subtitles.
Umbrella. Soon its stock prices crashed, and for all intents and purposes, Umbrella
See,
was
I don't get
finished.
that, because it says once the affair was public, right? But the guy in Resident Evil 6 goes, oh, I'm going to tell the truth about Raccoon City, and I'm thinking it was already public knowledge, wasn't it?
6 years have passed since that horrendous incident.
Oh my god, is that me, or did that look really blurry right there?
I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
Oh god, look at Leon's hand, it looks weird.
Short end of the stick.
You, who are you really? Come on and tell us. You are a long way from home, cowboy. You have my sympathies.
Guess
Yeah.
that's a local's way of breaking the ice. Anyway, you know what this is all about. My assignment is to search for the president's missing daughter.
What? All by yourself?
I'm sure you boys didn't
Oh, he's
just
the man
tag
for
along
it.
so we could sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. Then
Then
again,
again,
maybe
maybe
you
you
did.
did.
Oh, you crazy American. It's a direct order from the chief himself. I tell you, it's no picnic.
I'm counting on you guys.
Funny, because Leon's orders are from the top as well.
It was right before I was to take on my duties of protecting the president's daughter when she was abducted. That's the ultimate reason I'm in this lonely and rural part of Europe. According to our intelligence, there's reliable information about a sighting of a girl that looks very similar to the president's daughter. Apparently, she's being withheld by some unidentified group of people. Who would have thought that my first job would have been a rescue mission?
Well, that's kind of what your first day as a police officer did, Leon. It kind of turned into a rescue mission in Raccoon City.
So cold all of a
So
sudden.
you should be used to that by now. My one and only day as a police officer. I believe is what he said
Must be
once.
my imagination. Sorry it took so long.
But yeah, the 6 years later was like really blurry there for some reason.
Just up ahead is the village.
I'll go and have a look around.
We'll stay and watch the car. Don't want to get any parking tickets.
Right. Parking tickets.
I know, right? You're in the middle of nowhere, guys. There's no danger of that.
Jeez. Who are these guys?
No,
Did you say something?
man, I'm good. See you, nerd.
Leon, I hope you can hear me. I'm Ingrid Hunnigan. I'll be your support on this mission.
Loud and clear. Somehow I thought you'd be a little older. So the subject's name's Ashley Graham, right?
That's right. She's the daughter of the president. So try to behave yourself, okay?
Whoever this group
Irony.
is, they sure picked the wrong girl to kidnap.
I'll try to
It's
find
very
some more
ironic
information on
considering
my
the
end
end of
as
the
well.
game. We'll get there.
Good. Talk to you later. Leon out.
Leon, you're an agent of the president. Why on God's earth did you feel the need to ask that question? You know who it is. Okay. So yeah, it's very much tank controls. I mean, it's a little better because the camera won't cut so much, but it's again, yeah, it's gonna be moving again, isn't it? You know, because I can't quickly turn. I mean, I could quickly turn, but in like having to be quick situations, it's gonna be difficult. So I think what I'm going to do again, and I hate to do this, I think for the sake of getting through the game, I think again we're gonna have to switch the controller here because I don't see myself doing very well in instances where a quick escape is paramount. You know, yeah, they do have a quick turn and things like that, so I guess I could do that. Oh man, yeah. If it was forward moving with the with the mouse, it wouldn't be so bad. I think what you're seeing here is the reason why I wouldn't play racing games with the keyboard and mouse control scheme. It would be incredibly tough for me to like physically do. We'll get past this first guy and we'll see how we go in combat. Let's give it a bit more of a shot. But the thing is, I can't see myself pressing
Excuse me.
W
Sir?
and D and then pressing Shift. It would be very, very tough to do. I think even on one of those small keyboards it would be difficult to do. Hello?
I was wondering if you might recognize the girl in this photograph.
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
Sorry to have bothered you.
No. Sorry, man. Oh, spit! Let's roll.
Freeze! I said freeze!
Freeze, sucker! Okay, that wasn't so bad. What happened to my truck? Oh no, that's the truck heading out there.
Shit.
Well, there goes my ride. Shit.
Is everything okay?
There
No.
was a hostile local. I had no choice but to neutralize him. There are still others surrounding the area.
Get out of there and head toward the village. Take whatever measures necessary to save the subject.
Understood.
Hunnigan, we're bone. Oh god, oh god, oh god, this, no. No. This is not good. Looks like they killed a lot of people. Oh my god, I'm already struggling even on like basic section here, look. I mean, I'm moving, that's the good thing. But it's gonna be speed where I really fail, because look, I'm gonna have to do something like this, and I can't press all the keys at once. So, yeah. I want to jump out the window, but at the same time I don't, because there's probably two dudes out there. I'm just gonna put my controller in now and see what happens. If it, like, screws up, then, if it, I don't know whether I should reset the game or just plug it in and hope it works. No. Okay. So, yeah, very much like Resident Evil 1, I don't feel comfortable with this keyboard and mouse control scheme because of the tank controls. And I just feel, again, like Resident Evil 1, if I'm in combat and someone, like, comes up behind me or beside of me in a blind spot, I'm just going to end up dying. I mean, even if I see them, I'll just mostly want to run straight, move the mouse, and then be like, oh no, it doesn't work like that. So, in just a flash, We will be right back. Okay, so here we go. We're back. And already I can feel much better with the movement. It's a shame. It's a shame. I do hate to do it, you know, because I have been such a fan of using the keyboard and mouse recently. Navy SEALs out the window. But yeah, it's combat. It's combat I'm gonna struggle with. Oh god. He's dead? You dead? Oh, he's dead. There we go. So you can already see how much better in combat I'm going to be with the controller. You already just saw it right there. With the keyboard, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that. If I was able to run and just press W and use the mouse to move, that wouldn't be so bad. But the mouse is the camera. So, yeah. It's like, damn, dude.
Oh, no.
We're boned. But yeah, that again, that kind of it kind of bums me out a bit, because like I said, I've been like really enjoying the keyboard and mouse control scheme, but I can't really do much when the mouse doesn't, like, I don't direct things with the mouse, so it's only gonna set me up to fail. So unfortunately, lads, we're gonna have to play it safe. There's nothing in there? Shit. It's a shame, because, what another shame with this game? Where are we going? Another shame for this right now is that when you beat the game, you actually get a special costume for Leon, which is his Raccoon Police Department outfit. But unfortunately, we haven't beat the game, so we can't see it. Which sucks. I hear a doggy. How are you? Oh. Hey, the doggy. Here we go. Hello. Let's help you out, Dad. Some nasty douchebag fucking put a fucking trap there. Later. He'll be... Always save that dog. It'll be very helpful later. Alright. So, there's already an explosive there. So we can take it out. I think one thing people really love about this game is the aim. Because the aim is very realistic. It's very human-like in the way Leon's hands are shaking when you're aiming. So you have to kind of take that into account. It's like that sniping mission in Call of Duty 4, where you have to take... I just shot those bombs, and I could have taken out these scrubs with it, but never mind. Bring him down and kick him in the face. It's a good way to preserve your ammo. I don't think preserving ammo is as big a deal as it would be in the more classic games, as it were. 1 to 3. Or 1 to Code Veronica in this case, actually, because Code Veronica came out before this game. I'm not sure what to do with that herb I just picked up. I'm not sure if there's a yellow one quite close by. Because yellow herbs, take them and use them. Because they increase your health, but kind of wait until like you need to use it. Don't use it right off, or they was wasting a green herb. I'm already thinking I'm playing like Resident Evil 5 or 6 because I'm going up and trying to melee them in the face when they're on the ground. Lay down. So yeah, we just wasted a bullet on that guy earlier. When we could have just... Hey fellas, what's up? Ah. I don't think you can shoot those anyway. I think they're like... scripted enemies for... right about now. Oh, spit! You scrub! Well, that sucked. Get checked. Wow. Tip for these boxes. A little bit later in the game, prepare to swing your knife to the hills. Because sometimes in those boxes, you'll start getting snakes in them.
Leon, how you holding up?
Bad question, Hunnigan.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sending you a playing manual. Hope you find it useful.
I'll take a look at it, thanks.
Playing manual 2. Yeah, I already know all this. Despite having played this like 3 or 4 times, as I said, the last time I played it was actually on the PlayStation 4 version. But like I said, I only did the main story. I never did the Ada Separate Ways mission. And I never played the Mercenaries either. Oops. Now, I don't think there's a way you can really avoid this fight thing here. So, there's no sneaking around it, basically. Really. That's the wrong button. There's increased to combine. I want to find the yellow herb that's somewhere around here, but I can't remember where it is exactly. Well, spit. That sucked. This really sucked. I think I'm going to back myself into a corner here. The shelf is nailed to the wall. Oh, spit. Good shot. Good. I was really lucky not to get hit there. I need to really get out of here. Oh, the window. There we go. Which building is it? Is it this one? No. There's a building in here with a shotgun in it. Here it is. Here we go. I think it's up here where it's actually useful to be up here. Because you can be on a roof and just pick them off until the cutscene plays.
Chainsaw.
Pretty much like Resident Evil 5. Board up the door entryways. Let's go. Be quick. Bullets. Upstairs, grab the shotgun. Grenade here. Actually, one thing I'll do is get you scrubs off my house. I think it's out that window and onto the roof. Oh shit! Oh god! Ah! Oh god, I think the dude is behind me. This isn't it. This isn't the way to go. There we go. It's around here, isn't it? I think. You just take him out from here, I think. Going off Vash's playthrough.